Alright, we starting up with something that ain't even lukewarm. This is ice cold, so let me just hit this first. In case you didn't already hear about it, a couple of weeks ago, instead of releasing new music, Frank Ocean decided to release rings. Oddly enough, that isn't even the oddest part. The Frank Ocean design ring cost $25,570. I say 25,570 clams. And by clams, I of course mean bones. Now, I'm not sure what a ring normally costs, but at least this 26 grand one, you know, after taxes, this one ships free, so that's nice. Frank Ocean has a luxury brand called Homer, which I know that. Homer makes various accessories, with the latest being this triple XL H-bone ring, which has princess cut diamonds set in 18 karat gold. I have questions. First, who is this for?
Any cock will do.
Fair enough. But I don't know, it's just a lot of sharp edges to have near one's bon moi, don't you think? And even with obscene amounts of disposable income, I still just can't imagine who's the target market for a ring that costs 25.5 bands. How does one even determine the correct size to order? Surely Homer's brand, and thus the XXXL H-bone, is size inclusive. Perhaps there's a pinky ring to ring size conversion chart somewhere on the website. Or if a gentleman prefers to be measured in store for his H-bone, who exactly will be doing the measuring? Because it better be Frank Ocean himself for $25,570. High key, if Ocean is the one measuring your dick or your rod or your Johnson, it's kind of a steal. Oh, hi family, it is your girl T, aka nappy-headed jojoba. Not nappy, not jojoba, nappy-headed jojoba. You have to say the whole thing. It's like Precious based on the novel Push by Sapphire. It's a lukewarm tea today, which is where I give my hot takes on cold tea. Let's get Doja Wack out of the way. Doja Cat is launching some kind of brand. I think it's a clothing line, and she has named her brand It's Giving. Never mind the fact that it looks like she hired the Time to Make the Donuts guy to be her graphic designer, because to start a whole ass brand named It's Giving, Doja went ahead and trademarked the phrase It's Giving. Now, much like when Paris Hilton tried to trademark That's Hot, my immediate thought was, I know that I don't know who it was to first come up with that phrase, but I damn sure know who it wasn't. The It's Giving thing, however, is actually a bit worse, because this is giving culture vulture. Exactly the type of response you would expect from someone who already got caught busting it wide for the alt-right on OnlyClans or wherever it was. The fact that she has any career left whatsoever pretty well proves that getting canceled ain't really a thing. Anyway, pizza and beer? This is what you get when an illiterate tries to read. It's Giving is undeniably a product of Black culture, which Doja Hack is not. And no, I will not elaborate. Trust and believe it does not escape my notice that a lot of terms from Black culture and Black queer, drag, and ballroom cultures in particular lately, a lot of these terms have now gone mainstream. Let's be real, literal seconds ago, I was talking about reading, and in the intro, I let y'all know that this is hot takes on cold tea. You know as well as I do that I can't take credit for these terms, even though they're a part of my vernacular. And to reduce pieces of culture like this to stan words is glib. Never in a million years would I dream of trademarking a word or a term that I didn't come up with, let alone a term from a culture that is not my own. Isn't this exactly what happened to the girl who came up with On Fleek? Okay, I just checked, and dead ass, On Fleek is apparently trademarked by some brow bar in New York, not by Peaches Monroe, who actually came up with the phrase. This with Doja is no different. Unfortunately, if she was able to secure the trademark recently, and she only filed for it last October, then the actual creator of It's Giving failed to protect their IP in a timely fashion. But just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Securing a trademark is a lengthy, red tape-laden, and expensive endeavor, so it often winds up being the same old story of cultural plunder. Doja Rat knows she's dead wrong for this, but she had the resources and the failure of imagination to take something that wasn't hers and just run with it. Cognac. This one's a quickie. Cognac has done a collection for Gap, and supposedly, instead of having the clothes on hangers, he wants the pieces in these, what appear to be giant garbage bags, which Makes sense to me. That's probably where they belong. Typical trolling ass yay. I haven't seen anything from this Gap collection, but based on the other pieces that I've seen from this man, I am thoroughly convinced that the only reason his fashion gets any attention in sales is the spectacle of it being designed by Kanye, because this has to stop. Andy Taint. This is the first and most likely last time that I will ever talk about this individual, so let's get this over with. If you have never heard of this male, then you're like me about 4 days ago. I had no idea who he was, and I would have been much happier in life had that remained the case. TLDR, Andrew Taint is yet another person who has made misogyny his entire personality, to such a degree that he would make the late Kevin Samuels look like a simp. Sidebar, when I first heard Taint speaking in a clip in someone else's video last week where I was first learning about this, and I actually heard the sound of this individual's voice, estrogen, voice is mad light. Not at all what I was expecting based on what I'd read about his extreme misogyny, but when I think about it, it's actually exactly what I should have expected. Back on topic, Taint legit had to self-exile to Romania because I don't know how true or untrue this is about the country, but to paraphrase his words, over in Romania, they're a lot more chill about prosecuting men who commit that word that starts with R and rhymes with ape. Yeah. That's the gist of what he said. Real charmer, this guy. Just a few days ago, Andy Taint one-upped the funk and frauds of the malosphere by being banned from Instagram and Facebook, which makes sense, same company, and TikTok also too as well. No word on the Bird app at the time I'm filming this. The social media giants refer to his rhetoric and content as hate speech and hateful ideology in their statements on why they went through with their bans. But here's the real issue. Taint had almost 5 million followers on Instagram alone before they shut him down. What I'm saying is, this is probably too little, too late. Even though I pray many of you had never heard of this male before now, there are plenty of young, impressionable boys in their formative years who live on their phones and who have been watching Taint and hanging on his every word for months, in some cases years, for there to already be a very serious problem. I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that males like Andrew Taint make the world more dangerous. So even though my policy is usually to ignore these obviously wounded men and their content, I do worry about the ripple effect that this is going to have and already has had. I fear that the uptick in violence against women and girls that has already been rising in recent years will continue to worsen, and severely. My friend Essence, she's been on my channel before. I will never forget this because it was one of the wisest things that I've ever read. On her IG quite a while ago, she posted, "Unhappy people are dangerous." A fucking word. Unhappy people are dangerous. We're seeing it in the headlines pretty much daily with these incel lone wolves and their accompanying manifestos. We're in a spot with the red pill incelosphere now, where if you cut off the head, 2 more grow in its place. To see the kind of reach that this Taint guy had before these platforms finally pulled the plug, again, I am deeply concerned that it's too little too late. But it's also better late than never. Not too long ago, I did a video about the whole will he or won't he saga of Felon Musk buying Twitter. And I feel like the Venn diagram of Musk's idiot stans and Taint's idiot stans is just a circle. Anyway, in that video, which you probably didn't see because no one watched it, I dug into why the idea that Musk owning a platform like Twitter would not be a win for free speech. That premise is completely ridiculous. Moreover, there are people out here who are perfectly fine with not only normalizing, but profiting from these big brother/father figures who are blatant misogynists. So if a Musk or someone like him held the reins to decide who does and does not get to be heard on TikTok and the other platforms where Taint has now been banned, I have a feeling that Taint wouldn't be banned today at all. Silencing this one male on a couple of platforms is very much a band-aid on a stab wound. The cliches about how it takes a village and how the children are our future, RIP to Whitney, they're fucking true. Role models who are doing more than just passing down their own trauma to next generations are pretty much our only way out of this. And more to the point, influencers aren't role models in the first damn place. People gotta stop letting TikTok raise their kids. But If you're looking for help with all that, don't ask me, ask your mama. I'm very committed to my lifestyle of remaining a child-free, crazy dog lady. Thank you so much. Okay, fam, that is it for this lukewarm tea. This is the part of the video where I thank those of y'all who are still watching for sticking with me all the way to the end. Leave a comment telling me your favorite thing that you did or saw or listened to or ate this week, so I know who my real ones are. One thing I loved this week was meeting with my book club. I do have a book club on my Patreon. Link is in the D box if you want to check it out. We met yesterday, or at least yesterday as of when I'm filming this, and we talked about the book we just finished, which I will also link below. And we chose our next book, which is a Michael Pollan one that I've been wanting to read for ages. So much excited to read it with the Nap fam. Anyway, I gotta run because I'm off to a daytime birthday party. So until the next video, make sure y'all stay safe, stay dangerous, and never trust anyone who emigrates to a country because they're super relaxed about enforcing SA laws. I mean, really.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm gonna tell you that now.